a great way to get us into this world.
It borrows from the classic westerns. It borrows from classic science fiction. It even borrows from war movies with the dogfighting with the X-wings. They used World War II jets as the inspiration there. It tells a good story. It involves the whole expanded world of the galaxy far, far away, but it also encompasses something bigger than that with the Force. It adds its own like mythological part to it. Dan, what's your opinion on this one as a whole?
Oh, man, that thing. I'm going to say the same thing, but I'm going to come to it as Dungeons and Dragons DM of a good way to set up your world is to start with a town, and then maybe move to a city, and start peppering in all your little things. And then who's our bad guy? What's up with the bad guy? Let's check out the bad guy. So like I said, it's a great world builder movie.
It really is.
It really is. And it tells a relatively basic but well-told story.
Yep. Plus, A New Hope's strongest point is that it's a standalone movie. It ends in a way that, yes, there could be a sequel, but if the sequel never happened, it wouldn't be like the end of the world. Everything. Yeah, Darth Vader gets away, but everything else wrapped up.
And everyone gets medals, except for Chewie.
Poor Chewie is not a human.
Poor Chewie. This is discrimination. Somebody called Johnny Cochran.
It's freaking...
And then, again, it comes back to the Chewbacca defense.
The Chewbacca, exactly. All right, so let's move on to Empire. Overall opinions of Empire, possibly the most successful sequel to a movie ever made. Jeff, let's start with you.
Because it's my all-time favorite Star Wars movie, I have absolutely nothing bad to say about it. It furthered the story. It gave us a little bit more, it showed a little bit of both good things and, at times the bad guys doing more. And so, yeah, there's nothing.
And that ends on the sour note, but there's also the little bit of hope still. Oh.
There has to be a sequel. They have to do a part 3. What's
at that
cool.
Point, it's you gotta.
And well, it was almost a risk-free venture because Star Wars was successful when they released Empire. They're like, well, obviously we're going to do 3 of them. We know people are going to come back.
About the actual second in canon part of the Star Wars legacy.
We're not talking about that.
And that would be, of course, the Star Wars Christmas special.
We are not talking about that. Damn it.
It's in canon, and
it actually is. Yeah, it actually is. Actually, I have plans to possibly do that in the future as like a bad Star Wars.
Don't
trilogy.
But don't.
You want to know what's really sad?
Just watch Cinemassacre's thing on it.
I own it.
You own it?
I do.
A bootleg copy?
I certainly do.
Because it only ever had the one airing, so if you have it...
It's got the commercials, too. It's got the commercials.
You either worked on it, or you freaking taped it.
That is official bootleg when you know it has the commercial.
Oh, that's the best part, though, with the fighting the Frizzies thing. And then they spoofed that on South Park with their Christmas special. Oh, that's
it was post accident for Hamill, but they tried so hard to make him look the same, so he was just a freaking makeup monster.
Oh my god, yeah, he looked like a Ken doll. He really did. All right, so Dan, your overall opinion of Empire?
This is my second favorite Star Wars movie.
So yeah, it's a hot positive opinion. And like I said, that's the only part of the movie I don't like is that one scene on Dagobah. I like the rest of the movie. Return of the Jedi, ironically, is the movie I have the most complaints about, but when I was a kid, this one was my favorite. So
yeah, it was kid-friendly because, think about it, what was the biggest part of Return of the Jedi?
Endor.
They were cute, cuddly teddy bears.
And good triumphs, like the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
it's just like good wins, and then good wins again, and then the good guy wins again. and then Batista wins, and then John Cena wins,
No!
and Roman Reigns wins.
No!
And
No.
Charlotte Flair.
No, stop. All right, overall opinions, Jeff. Return of the Jedi.
I like Return of the Jedi. As far as the original trilogy, I would put it at the bottom of the three, but that's not saying much, because, again, you have the world building, you have the greatness of 2, so just by proxy, it has to go somewhere. I thought that the Ewoks had them, but they kind of killed it, because teddy bears would not be able to take down stormtroopers that easily.
And stormtroopers are inept, but they're also the most accurate force.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they never actually hit anything.
They only hit things on screen. If they're off screen, they have 100% accuracy.
Yeah. Well, if they're better than the Tusken Raiders, that makes me wonder how they actually are. Although one of them does take down a pod racer in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Just crouched up there like freaking, like they're shooting Kennedy.
Yeah, like what kind of straightforward racing hack are you? If you get picked off by a Tusken Raider with a long rifle.
Yeah, well, maybe you need a new career.
Boba always wins because everyone else is an idiot.
And then, what about you, Dan? Overall opinions of the Jedi? Return of.
Oh man, Jedi might be. It's definitely my lowest of the Ridge Tridge. But okay, it's like, what is there, like 10 movies now? And they're coming out with the 11th.
Actually, no. More than that. You've got Solo, you've got Rogue One.
14 is the grand total. If you count Ewok movies, the Clone Wars movie, the holiday special, it's a 14 because I've got them all listed out to do an official ranking at some point.
No. Okay. I don't count that, like stuff like Ewoks and.
That's fine. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just saying.
I mean, they are canon, but I'm thinking 1 through 10 and Rogue One and Solo.
So there's 8 episodic movies, and then
10 total.
Yeah, and then 2 spin-offs. Although Clone Wars is canon, so 11.
Yeah, it is technically. Yeah.
So there you go. That's 11. 11. Does it go to 11?
All right. I like every Star Wars movie, but this is my bottom of the Ridge Tridge.
All right, fair enough.
Well, but I think the Jabba's Palace plan was baller.
Actually, yeah, that was a really good plan, and the fact that they took them 3 years to incorporate the plan is.
Well, no, they had to get in and become a trusted bodyguard.
Yeah.
And then she had to either find it and replace a bounty hunter, her own name as a bounty hunter.
Yeah, basically.
During that entire time.
All right, let's. It's time for the conclusion of this week's cinematic triple threat.
I think we all agree.
I am going to choose my official winner of the 3 original Star Wars movies. I pick as your winner Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And yes, I know that's predictable, but as I said, Jedi was my favorite as a kid, but as I've gotten older and I've really learned to appreciate Star Wars more, I've learned that Empire is the best of the 3. And the main reason I feel that way is because it has the best storyline advancement, it has the least issues as a film as a whole. As I said, I only have one complaint about that, none about A New Hope. But if I did have a complaint about New Hope, it's that it follows that 1970s film pacing, where certain parts, you can easily shorten a lot of those scenes and probably shave off at least 10-15 minutes of the movie by shortening parts and get the exact same effect. With
and
Empire...
almost all those pull moments were on Tatooine.
Yeah. Mostly. There's like 1 or 2 on the Death Star, but otherwise, yeah. Empire has the bleak ending, and that ambiguous ending makes you want to come back for more. It advances...
Well, just the thing is, like, the first one is like, let's just watch the Empire get its shit pushed in for 2 hours. And then the third one's also, let's watch the Empire get its shit pushed in for 2 hours.
But yeah. But also think about the character advancement. Luke starts his Jedi training. Han and Leia form their potential relationship. We're introduced to Yoda and Lando.
It's a 3-act structure.
Yeah,
movie wise,
the big reveal happens and pushes Darth Vader to a whole new level of villainy.
The setup movie, the main fight thing in the middle, and the resolution is the third movie.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I think I declare a winner in Empire Strikes Back. And if people want to agree or disagree, this is what the comment section is for. If you are listening to this on iHeart or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please head on over to the CKCC. Also, this episode will be put up on YouTube, so you can leave comments there if you wish. I believe Empire is... And we could sit here for another 3 hours and talk Star Wars, but we're almost at the 1 hour mark for our debut episode, and I think that's a good place to kind of wrap up. So let's do just some final thoughts here about Star Wars as a whole, as a franchise. In my opinion, the best cinematic franchise of all time. I say that not just as a fan, but as a somebody who appreciates what these kind of movies, what kind of universe they can create. And you can argue lots of movie franchises that are comparable, but none of them, in my opinion, have the scale of a movie like this, which is appropriate because it takes place among an entire galaxy. And who knows, that news out that we're detecting radio signals from a galaxy 1.5 billion light years away. So maybe that's the galaxy in question. We don't know.
And the radio signals would be from a long time ago.
Exactly. How about you, Jeff? Overall, Star Wars as a franchise.
What, like we discussed earlier, as far as like the music and the characters, I don't think there's another franchise that has this many well-known characters. Because you look at it like, for example, Lord of the Rings. Not everyone can name all of the Fellowship, but we already established all the different characters that most people know, even if you're not a fan of the series. So that's the impact it made culturally. It made an impact in filmmaking. There's just so much positive to say about the original trilogy.
It changed the game, yeah. And Dan?
Good movie. Watch them.
Dan's not the hardcore resident Star Wars as a lot of people are in our community, but he still likes them.
As you can from when I said, I didn't say fuck them, but I said I don't count because I don't count those fucking Ewok shit.
Well, you don't have to. All right, so our next episode will be airing at the end of January, and the classic films is going to be a classic film trilogy. The movies in question are Casablanca, Gone with the Wind, and The Wizard of Oz. All three were requested by friends of mine on Facebook, as I asked for people to submit their all-time favorite movies to be considered for review on this podcast, and those were the three oldest films that I got. So we're going to lump them together and do a classic film triple threat next week. Until then, we will see you guys in that galaxy far, far away. Jeff and Dan, thank you very much for joining me. And remember,
Thank you for having me.
Please check out Jeff's show, Cinefan Podcast, part of the KCC. And, of course, you can hear Dan every week on Club Kayfabe WrestleTalk, as well as our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CKCC Online. You go there, you can listen to Dan and watch Dan play lots of stuff. He's played Last of Us, he's played Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, among other things. So that's just Witcher 3 has been on there, I believe. He's streaming stuff, so you can check out Dan's streams, and of course, the whole community as a whole, Club Kayfabe Creative Community. Check us out at CKCC Online, at Facebook, on the Twitter machine, and thank you to Filling the Void Podcast Network for getting this show out there. We will see you guys at the movies next week with the classic Triple Threat. Until then, for Jeff and Dan, this is Chris O'Mealy signing off for your cinematic Triple Threat. The bell has rung. Empire Strikes Back has gone over.